Recently, I've been testing a ham recipe and I have a ton of ham. What in the world do I do with all of this ham? Well, of course, make old-fashioned ham spread. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today's recipe is direct from Mom. This is a recipe that Mom makes all the time with her leftover ham. And it is one of my favorite sandwich spreads, and it's called ham spread. Now, I've never had the kind in the can, so I can't really tell you if it tastes similar to that or not, but there is apparently a can of ham spread that you can buy. I have a feeling Mom's is better though. And it's super easy to do, and you can make as much or as little as you want. And I'll go over the ratios of ingredients, okay? So in case you have less ham or more ham than I do. I have 1.5 pounds of leftover ham here, but I'm only gonna use half of it for the ham spread today. And I'm gonna freeze the other half chopped up, and I'll go over all that with you. So I'm gonna use a food processor because it makes it super easy. You want the ham to be finely chopped. So if you don't have a food processor, then you're gonna want to mince it up by hand with a nice sharp knife. But this just makes it really easy. And then as far as like what type of ham, I've never had a ham turn out where it didn't work in this ham spread. You know, this is a honey baked ham recipe that I'm working on. So it's sweet and it still tastes amazing. So you don't have to get any special kind of ham. Whatever you have left over is perfectly fine. No matter how you seasoned it up, it's gonna work. It always does. Once your ham is in the food processor, we're gonna put the lid on here. This one is a little fancier. I can do a chop or a dough or pulse, and I can also do some shredding and some other things. But the chop, which works great, doesn't go long enough. I have to keep pressing it and pressing it. So I just use pulse. And that's what I recommend using. You want to pulse it to finely chop it, but you don't want it to be on such high speed for long periods of time that it turns into mush. So there's like this little balance there. And the texture is so important in ham spread that you want to get the balance right. And I'll show you what your ham should look like when it is perfectly chopped, and it is finely chopped. Okay. All right, that looks good. So let me go ahead. Well, let me take this out so I don't end up cutting my finger, right? And then I'll be able to show you what it looks like. Okay, so it is finely chopped, really small. Like if I was gonna say it in a measurement, it would be about 1/8 of an inch chop. It is very small. Okay, now 1.5 pounds usually makes about 4 cups of the finely chopped ham. I'm gonna make 2 cups today, but you can make 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter, it depends on how many you wanna serve. 1 cup of the ham with the ingredients that you want to add to that will probably make, I would say, 4 sandwiches, okay? 4 full sandwiches, and it would make, it would serve on crackers probably 4 to 5 people, okay? So just for reference. All right, so let me scoop out 2 cups of the finely chopped ham. Now, I don't usually measure, okay? Because I've been making this for so many years that I don't measure. But I wanted to give you pretty close measurements because on occasion, like I've added too much mustard and it's a little too tangy. You know, if you add too much mayonnaise, it kind of loses its ham flavor. So the ratios are sort of important, but if you've made it once, you can just judge it usually. All right, so 2 cups of the chopped ham. 2 teaspoons of a spicy brown or Dijon mustard, not yellow mustard in this. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't really work that well. So per cup would be 1 teaspoon. I have 2 cups, so I'm using 2 teaspoons of this spicy mustard. For every cup, you're gonna want 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is totally different and it's gonna throw all the flavors off. So I have 6 tablespoons here since I'm doing 2 cups. Now, the amount of mayonnaise that you use, that can vary a little bit based on the moisture level in your ham. So if you use the 6 tablespoons and you find that it's still too dry, of course, add another tablespoon in. Make it so it's delicious for you. And then for each cup of the chopped ham, you're gonna use 2 teaspoons of sweet pickle relish. So I have 4 teaspoons here. And then we just mix it up. You could probably use dill pickle relish, but I don't know. Mom always used sweet and it's just amazing. So I tend to keep her recipes as close to how she made them as possible. All right, look at that. All right, this looks absolutely perfect. It's the perfect consistency, looks great. Now, ordinarily what I would do is I would cover it and put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. I'm gonna bypass that because I'm gonna just taste it for you here. But before I get into that, let me show you how to freeze the rest of this, which I mean, it's pretty simple. You could freeze it in one bag or you could separate it into 1 cup portions if you want. Either way is fine. I'm gonna use this at a party, so I'm gonna go ahead and do both of the cups of ham in one bag here. And I put them in a regular freezer bag. You could absolutely vacuum seal, okay? In fact, that's probably even better, but I'm not gonna be having it in the freezer that long before I make it up, so it's perfectly fine. I've got a little bit more than 2 cups here. So I probably have about 2.5 cups total. So I'll just write that on the bag so I know how much of the ingredients to add when I want to make up my actual ham salad. Okay, so here's the important part. First of all, you don't want to freeze the ham salad after it's already made, okay? That's not going to work out for you. It's going to become real watery. It's not going to have the right texture. You're not going to like it. So just chop the ham, put it in a bag, partially seal it. You could put it out thinner if you want, you know, however you want to do it. But I usually just tap it down like this, and then I fold this over and get all the air out. Now, I know this seems simple, and I'm sure most people know to do this, but it's really important with the ham. It's also important that the ham is cold. So let's say it's still slightly warm when you chop it. Don't bag it up right away. Let it cool, like open in the refrigerator for a little bit until, you know, it's not warm at all. It needs to be totally cold. Then put it in your bag to freeze. Now I'll just label it, you know, 2.5 cups of chopped ham. And when I want to make my ham spread, I just grab it out, let it thaw. I let it thaw in the refrigerator, and then I make up my ham spread. So I'll take it out like the night before I want to make it. This is what it looks like after it's completely frozen. There you go. And this will last, my gosh, as long as ice crystals don't form, it'll last a year or more in your freezer. So great use for leftover ham. And if you haven't had ham spread before, oh my gosh, you just have to try it once. And people sometimes call this ham salad. I do not consider it ham salad. This is ham spread. You spread it on things. A salad, like a turkey salad or a ham salad, would be bigger chunks, if you ask me anyway. That's my personal opinion for what it's worth. So my favorite way is on a cracker. Usually Triscuits. Triscuits are number 1, Ritz number 2. Oh my God. It's so good. It'll be even better once it's refrigerated. I don't know if it's just the memory from childhood. I don't think so though. It's just darn good, and I hope you make it.